Assalam-o-Alaikum. Welcome to our channel Easy and Amazing. Hope you all are fine and doing well with your lives. Okay, let's see which topic we are going to make easy for us today. Let's have a look towards our slides. Here is a question for you all. The question is, what is classification? Yes, if you know, do write your answers in the comment section. Okay, students, classification means grouping of things. What is classification? Classification means grouping of things, yeah, grouping of organisms. Scientists classify organisms on the basis of their similar characteristics, and we call it classification. The term classification was given by a Greek scientist, Aristotle, who studied living organisms almost about 2000 years ago. He discovered that all living organisms can be classified either as plants or animals. Students, do you know? There are almost about 8.7 million organisms. Interesting? Students, do you know why classification is important? As I told you that there are almost about 8.7 million organisms present on Earth. And to make their study easy, scientists have classified them into groups. What did the scientists do? They make their groupings on the basis of their similar characteristics so that it will be easy for them to study all these organisms. Now, let's see how the scientists have classified organisms. Scientists have divided all the living organisms into two main groups. And what are these two main groups? One is plants and second one is animals. Then they further divided animals into two groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. And they divided plants into flowering and non-flowering plants. Getting? Now, what do we mean by vertebrate? What do we mean by invertebrate? What is flowering and non-flowering plant? We are going to discuss all these things in upcoming slides. Let's go towards the first one. Here is another question for you all. Who are vertebrates? Yes, please quickly write down your answers in the comment section. Who are vertebrates? Students, vertebrates are those organisms that have backbone. Who are vertebrates? Organisms with backbone are called as vertebrates. Now, the question that should come in your mind is, what do we mean by backbone? We all know that inside our body is a skeleton that is made up of bones. And one very important part of our skeleton is the backbone. Backbone is a long bone made up of 33 smaller bones that join together to form a backbone. These smaller bones are called as vertebrae. What is backbone? A long bone that formed by the joining of 33 smaller bones. And these smaller bones are called as vertebrae. You know, students, the skeleton of a vertebrate holds its body together and helps to move and protect it. Scientists have further divided vertebrates into five groups. These groups are fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. What are the five groups of vertebrates? Fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. What are these characteristics? We are going to discuss this in any other lesson. Right now, we are just going to discuss about the main difference between vertebrate and invertebrate and their main five groups. Getting? Let's talk about invertebrates. Invertebrates are those animals that do not have backbone or a skeleton inside their bodies. It is the second big group of animals and it includes butterflies, woodlice, spiders, slugs, snails, and many others. Invertebrates do not have a skeleton to protect them. Now, the question arises if they do not have a skeleton for their protection, what do they have? Yes, any idea? If yes, write your answer in the comment section. Students, invertebrates have tough skins, or some invertebrates have shell on outside of their bodies which protect them. Can you recall who are invertebrates? Invertebrates are those organisms that do not have a backbone or a skeleton inside their bodies. Invertebrates are divided into six groups: annelid, arthropod, cnidaria, echinoderm, mollusks, and sponges. What are the six groups? Annelids, arthropod, cnidaria, echinoderm, mollusks, and sponges. These are the six groups of invertebrate. Again, the characteristics will be discussed in any other video. Right now, just focus on the difference between vertebrate and invertebrate. Getting written? Till now, we have discussed about classification of living organisms. First thing we discussed, what is classification? Classification is grouping of organisms on the basis of their similar characteristics. Then we discussed that Aristotle divided organisms into two main groups. One is plants and second one is animals. Then he further divided animals into two subgroups. One is vertebrate and second one is invertebrates. What is vertebrate? Vertebrates are those organisms that have backbone. And invertebrates are those organisms that do not have backbones. Getting? Then we discussed that vertebrates are further divided into five groups: fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. While invertebrates are divided into six groups: mollusks, arthropods, worms, cnidarians, echinoderms, and sponges. Getting? Okay, it was all about today. If you have any confusion in this topic, you may ask in the comment section. Let's go towards the next slide. So here is an activity for you all. Classify these animals as vertebrates and invertebrates. You have to simply write down the vertebrate animals and invertebrate animals in different columns. That's it. So students, it was all about vertebrates and invertebrates. I hope there isn't any confusion now. See you in the next video. Till then, take very good care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.